David Martinek is here from Recycle Frog. It's our final segment here on Ask the Expert, so we got a couple of questions right away. Patricia from Pembroke is on the telephone this morning joining us. Patricia, we appreciate your call. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kurt, and the expert there. I can't
David.
see your name.
David.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I had gotten a 24-karat gold penny from my brother. Now he's deceased, so it means a lot to me. But I was just wondering how much it would be a value.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Besides the emotional part.
Right. That's priceless, of course, Patricia.
That's right. So I think Patricia's question is the second most popular question when it comes to plated material. I would say about half of what we see on a daily basis ends up being plated material.
Right.
So it's been covered with something. So it could be copper underneath it. You know, think of a tea set that has silver. It looks like sterling silver,
yes,
but it's actually plated.
Yeah.
What Patricia has is a penny, like any one of these pennies, but they've actually put a very thin layer of gold on top of it. So Patricia, your coin is worth more to you than it is as a collector piece. If we were to melt that coin down and try to extract the gold off of it, it would be just trace amounts of gold, microns thick, so fractions of a millimeter thick.
It's just basically gold paint.
It is. It literally is, and actually probably even thinner than that, because when you think of a paintbrush, you're putting millimeters of paint on.
Yeah.
Divide that by hundreds, and that's what you're getting.
It's just to make it shiny.
Make it pretty, make it a collector piece.
I think it's nice of her brother to give that to her.
Absolutely.
Maybe you want to hang on to that, Patricia, instead of getting rid of it.
Yep.
All right, I believe we have one more call. Gordon is on the telephone. Gordon, good morning. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. What's your question today?
Yeah, I was just wondering. What a penny would be worth. A half penny, I should say.
Right.
It's a 1941.
Excellent. Well, you know what?
It's got a ship on the back of it.
Ship on the back.
So off the top of my head, I can't tell you that, but if you want to give us a call at the office, I can do a little bit of research. I have a wonderful website that I go to. Half pennies are unique. They can either be British or Canadian. I have a feeling this one may be a British coin. Right. But Gordon can just give me a call at the office anytime this afternoon, and I'll be happy to do a little research while he's on the phone and figure that out. It could be worth, maybe 25 cents. It could be worth $25, or it could be worth a lot more. It requires a little bit of research, but.
That's the thing, eh? If you come across something that it's, we may find something in this pile of pennies or what have you, and you're really not clear, it's worth asking the question, right?
Yep. Well, oftentimes people will call in and say, oh, I've got this, similar to what Gordon just did. I've got this half penny from 1941. Is it worth anything? And I have a reference site that I go to, and literally within a few seconds, I will do a few clicks and find out what it could potentially be worth.
Right.
And then usually, if there is some collector value to it, I have an amazing company that I can refer, someone like Gordon to. Right. We can just take that coin out and they'll buy it on the spot.
I wanted to touch on silver, and you talked about silverware and stuff like that. That a lot of people keep that sort of thing around forever.
Or they've inherited that second or third set.
I know my parents. I can remember a box with, and it had to be in those days full-on sterling silver dinnerware.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, personally, where that box is, but a lot of times those things are worth a lot of cash.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we buy literally hundreds of pounds of silver, whether it's jewelry or flatware. People will go again into their garage, into their basement, and uncover these things.
Right.
And there's a lot of silver in each one of these pieces. They're 50% of the time, again, they're plated and we can't buy them. But the other 50% of the time, the sets could be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
Right.
So, why leave it sitting there if you're never going to use it? If it's just been sitting there in your garage or in your basement for that long, why not consider finding out how much it's worth, and then you can decide whether you want to sell it or not on that particular moment.
Yeah.
But again, like anything else, we're going to look at it and say, depending on its condition, depending on its pattern and all that, we'll tell you this might be something you want to take to an antique dealer versus melting it down as the silver.
The value could be different, right?
It could be. Just like your jewelry, just like your coins. They fall into two very distinct categories, and we're going to help you figure where yours falls into.
So you're not necessarily, even though you might want to, you're not necessarily going to take an item from somebody if its value could be more through a collectible or antique sort of situation?
I think it's the single biggest difference from us and anybody else out there is that we don't buy everything that we see. And that means turning away profit. So every time I tell you to take your coin or your rings away or your flatware set,
right.
I'm not making money off of you. But at the end of the day, as a good business and a good, hopefully considered to be a corporate consumer or a community partner and a
right.
trusted company, we're going to help you get as much money as we can by sending you to someone we know and trust.
Even if it's not yourself.
Even if it's not ourselves.
David, do tell, you've got events this week. Where are they happening for people to go visit? 3
events. We've got Orleans at the Shankman Arts Center. We've got Ben Franklin Place, Center Point in Nepean. And then we're at the Canterbury Recreation Complex in the east end of Ottawa. And again, 11 to 6. Come out if you're curious. Come out if you're ready to go. You know what, we're happy to see you, and the most important thing is there's never any pressure to do anything.
No.
It's yours until you decide to accept the offer.
And like I say, even if it's something you found that you don't even have any idea, it's worth a visit to ask a question. There are no dumb questions in that sort of world, that's for sure.
And it's all free.
Exactly. Recycle Frog can be found in the World Exchange Plaza, Suite 1150. There's their telephone number, or even go to their website. Check it all out, or go to one of their visits over the next few days in the Ottawa area, one of their events, and you can get things checked out. David, thank you very much. We'll be back with more of CTV Morning Live right after this.